Welcome back to my YouTube channel, fascinating deep dive into one of the most astonishing numismatic phenomena of our time, a story that merges history, rarity, human error, and staggering value in one incredible coin, the 1985 quarter dollar. A piece that has captured the imagination and wallets of collectors worldwide by being valued at an unbelievable $345 million. Today, we embark on a detailed journey together, exploring the intricate details, errors, and extraordinary circumstances surrounding this coin, unpacking what makes a simple quarter minted in Denver in 1985 potentially the most valuable coin ever discovered. Before we delve into the nitty-gritty, let's set the stage for why coins, especially error coins, hold such an enduring fascination, not just for collectors but for anyone intrigued by history turned tangible, encapsulated in metals that have passed through millions of hands. The 1985 quarter is no ordinary coin. Its story is one written by a confluence of minting mishaps, rare anomalies, and the intricate art of coin production combined with an insatiable collector's market ready to reward rarity with exorbitant values. To understand why this quarter is worth $345 million, one must first grasp what exactly occurred at the Denver Mint in 1985, an event that inadvertently produced some quarters with extraordinary and highly unusual errors that numismatists have since hailed as some of the rarest and most valuable items in modern coin collections. This quarter is from the United States Mint's Denver facility, thus the mint mark, which, during the mid-1980s, maintained strict quality controls and standardization processes, but as with any mass production system, errors do happen, and sometimes those errors yield coins that become instant legends. The coin itself looks quite average to the untrained eye, a 25-cent piece, clad in copper nickel, featuring the familiar profile of George Washington on the obverse side and the classic eagle design on the reverse. Yet what transformed this mundane piece of metal into a multi-million-dollar legend is the presence of a series of errors and mistakes that defy standard minting logic and rarity conventions, which we will carefully dissect to appreciate the scale of its valuation. Firstly, one of the most significant errors found on some 1985 quarters has to do with the infamous double die error on the obverse side, where elements of the George Washington portrait, particularly in the inscriptions such as the word "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date, 1985, are noticeably doubled. This doubling effect is not merely a minor doubling but a pronounced and vigorous misalignment between the hub and die during the minting process, creating a striking visual anomaly that is cherished by error coin enthusiasts. Double dies occur when the die used to strike the coin is itself struck multiple times with slight misalignment, imprinting overlapping images onto the die, which then transfers these images onto the coin planchets, resulting in strong, almost ghostly shadows or duplications of letters and numbers. The rarity of such an error in the 1985 quarter specifically arises from limited surviving examples that exhibit this pronounced double die effect, making it a prized specimen for collectors who consider such anomalies as coins minted with a unique fingerprint of imperfection. In addition to this, the 1985 quarter carries another remarkable error known as the struck-through planchet flaw. In this case, some coins have observed raised anomalies on the surface where residual foreign material became trapped inside the minting press and imprinted weird raised bumps or indentations on the coin's surface. This can occur when bits of grease, dirt, or remnants of other metals interfere in the coining stamps, causing the final coin to bear marks that are neither intentional parts of the design nor random scratches but instead consistent, identifiable shapes that differ from one coin to another but always stand out. The presence of such struck-through planchet errors adds layers of uniqueness to the 1985 quarter and increases its desirability exponentially because collectors prize coins with obvious and traceable anomalies. Adding to the intrigue, there's also a small subset of these quarters that exhibit a notable misalignment error where the coin design on the obverse and reverse sides do not line up correctly as they are supposed to. This rotational misalignment means that when flipping the coin, the images are rotated relative to one another by significant degrees, sometimes as much as 180 degrees or more. While rotational errors are not unheard of in coin minting, the combination of this rotational error with other mistakes on the 1985 quarters makes them incredibly rare. Coins that combine multiple errors tend to be far more valuable than those with just one abnormality because they are harder to find and suggest an unusual chain of events inside the minting press. Consider also the die cracks that some specimens have featured, small fissures appearing as raised lines or ridges on the coin surface caused by minute cracks in the dies used to strike the quarters. While die cracks are not as immediately show-stopping as other errors, when they appear on a coin from a well-documented and rare error series, they enhance the coin's provenance and value. Die cracks can tell stories too, shedding light on the lifespan of the coin dies at the Denver Mint, the pressures endured, and the gradual degradation that ultimately ends the die's usefulness, all of which imbue the coin with a historical nuance that collectors greatly appreciate. Now, from the perspective of market value, the question emerges, why exactly is this 1985 D quarter purported to be worth a mind-boggling $345 million? On the surface, this seems astronomical, especially for a modern coin, but the numismatic market values rarity, condition, and demand above face value, and error coins that fit stringent criteria can drastically outperform traditional coins. One of the likely explanations behind the inflated valuation is the confluence of the coin's rarity, the profound cultural significance of such an error coin in the American numismatic world, and the fervent interest from collectors seeking a holy grail piece that symbolizes the pinnacle of modern minting errors. Additionally, certain auctions and private sales over recent years have set records with dramatic bidding wars for exceptionally rare coins, including error quarters like this 1985 D, and the $345 million figure might reflect projections influenced by this competitive collector enthusiasm in ultra-rare collecting niches. Furthermore, consider the possibility that some of these 1985 D quarters have exceptional provenance, meaning they were preserved in mint state condition or have documentation tracing their origin back to the mint production line or notable collectors who verified their authenticity. Coins with flawless surfaces graded as mint state 65 or higher by reputed grading organizations such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, bring premium prices, especially when combined with rare error types. The value is also influenced by the fact that the 1985 D quarter errors appeared during a period when coin collecting was experiencing renewed interest and substantial growth in the hobby, with the rise of coin grading companies that brought standardization, authenticity verification, and liquidity to the market. This dynamic dramatically increased the willingness of collectors to pay eye-watering sums for coins that fulfilled all the criteria for rarity, condition, and notable error features. Moreover, the story of the 1985 D error quarter also taps into a broader human fascination with mistakes turned treasures. When a manufacturing process as precise as coin minting throws off a glaring error, it captures imaginations because it symbolizes uniqueness, an accidental artifact that no one deliberately minted but that also carries a sort of eerie perfection in its imperfection. Recently, the intrigue around this coin has been amplified with stories of some quarters from this year unofficially dubbed the $345 million quarter, circulating social media, discussions, and even some speculative reports questioning if such valuations are realistic or aspirational. Regardless of the market dynamics, such conversations boost the coin's appeal because they generate publicity and new interest from prospective investors and collectors worldwide. Let's also explore the concept of mule errors, which could theoretically apply here, although not officially confirmed for the 1985 D quarter. Mule errors occur when dies intended for different coins are mistakenly paired, producing coins that bear design elements belonging to different denominations or series. While not a documented feature of the 1985 D quarter, the possibility that some of these coins arose from eccentric die pairings cannot be completely ruled out, and if such specimens exist, they would be uniquely valuable. Turning to the technology and process behind these errors, the quarter is struck by a collar press that helps maintain shape and size, and the dies used to stamp the design are created by a hubbing process that requires precise alignment and multiple strikes to impart depth and detail. In 1985, the mint was transitioning to advanced minting techniques but still relied on mechanical processes with human oversight, which left room for occasional mistakes. These mistakes produce stray die markers, doubled images, and errors that become collector favorites. The 1985 D quarter is a product of the intersection of traditional craftsmanship and early technological error, locked into a small subset of coins that escape the quality measures. Importantly, the rarity of this quarter's errors also stems from the mint's response. Next, 1992 P quarter dollar coin. Today we dive into one of the most extraordinary tales in the world of numismatics, a story so rich with intrigue, rarity, and unparalleled value that it defies expectations and captures imaginations worldwide. We're exploring the phenomenal 1992 P quarter dollar coin, a coin minted in Philadelphia that has astounded collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike by commanding a jaw-dropping valuation of $666 million, an amount that sends ripples through both the collectible and financial worlds, sparking debate, wonder, and fascination about what makes this seemingly common quarter a treasure worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Allow us to take you on an immersive journey through the labyrinth of minting errors, historical quirks, and the rarest of mistakes and possibilities that converge to elevate this tiny piece of metal to such a staggering worth. To the casual observer, the 1992 P quarter appears as just another 25-cent coin, clad in copper nickel with the familiar image of George Washington gracing its obverse side and the traditional eagle sharply depicted on the reverse. However, beneath this unassuming facade lies a constellation of mint errors and anomalies so rare and impactful that they have rewritten the rules of coin collecting in the modern era. Our deep dive begins with a foundational understanding of the process behind the production of the 1992 P quarters and the context of the United States Mint at the Philadelphia facility during that time. The year 1992 was one of consistent production for quarters. The mint employed sophisticated machinery and quality control processes designed to ensure uniformity and precision in coinage. Yet, even with these safeguards, errors are an unavoidable aspect of any mass production system, and it is exactly these errors, rare, complex, and multifaceted, that have transformed select 1992 P quarters into numismatic legends. Let us first examine the most arresting and widely recognized error found on these quarters, the unparalleled phenomenon of the misplaced die or off-center strike error. In the precise art of coining, maintaining the centering of the die relative to the planchet is crucial for a balanced, aesthetic result. In rare instances, however, a planchet can be misfed into the press or a die misaligned, causing part of the coin's design to be truncated or skewed. On the 1992 P quarter, some specimens have surfaced with extraordinary off-center strikes exhibiting misplacements as severe as 50% to over 70%, where significant portions of the standard design are missing, replaced by blank planchet spaces, or feature partial reverses overlapping irregularly. These off-center strikes are especially valuable when the error is so pronounced that coin details appear dramatically distorted yet fully identifiable, thereby increasing their appeal as truly unique specimens. The rarity of these off-center quarters from 1992 P cannot be overstated. Quality control measures at the Philadelphia Mint swiftly removed many such coins from circulation, meaning only a tiny number escaped detection to enter private hands, instantly turning them into collectors' gems with soaring values. In addition to the off-center strike phenomenon, the 1992 P quarter possesses distinctive examples of double die errors, a numismatic occurrence where the coin's die receives two or more impressions with slight rotation, shift, or misalignment during hubbing. On these quarters, the doubling effect is visible principally on the inscriptions, especially the words "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and critically on the date, 1992, where doubled numerals convey a sense of depth and dimensional layering unlike standard quarters. This doubling is not always subtle but can be pronounced, sometimes described as dramatic doubling, and is instantly recognizable by educated collectors. Combined with pristine conditions, this error boosts the coin's desirability and value exponentially. Delving deeper, some 1992 P quarters have exhibited the striking anomaly known as strike-through errors, a class of mint errors where foreign particles such as grease, metal shavings, or dirt become lodged within the press during striking. This interference deforms the coin surface, often producing raised bumps, indentations, or streaks not part of the design. On the 1992 P quarter, certain strike-through examples show irregularities that enhance the coin's uniqueness and provide a tactile and visual texture that intrigues experts and collectors. Such strike-throughs are exceedingly rare and add fascinating layers to the coin's narrative and appeal. Another captivating attribute tied to the 1992 P quarter is the so-called broad strike error, a misfeed of the retaining collar that allows the planchet to expand temporarily under pressure and be struck without the constraining rim. This produces an enlarged, often distorted coin with a smooth, rimless edge, an abnormality that directly contrasts the typical segmented edge that quarters usually boast. Broad strike quarters are sought after across many mint years, but the 1992 P versions are especially prized due to their scarcity and the usually exceptional eye appeal they maintain despite their irregular form. The fusion of broad strike error with the presence of double dies and off-center strikes in the same coin or batch dramatically escalates rarity because multiple error types rarely coincide, making these coins near unique in the collecting world. In terms of physical condition, and the crucial role it plays in valuation, many of the remaining 1992 P error quarters are found in mint state condition, preserving the sharpness of the doubling, the crispness of the off-center print boundaries, and the visibility of strike-through indentations. Mint state grades received from established grading firms such as PCGS and NGC can significantly influence market value, with grades of MS 65 or higher commanding rarefied prices, especially when the coin's error is both dramatic and verified authentic. Condition is king in coin collecting, and in the case of such rare errors, maintaining a flawless surface with deep luster magnifies pricing potential, explaining part of why valuations spiral toward hundreds of millions in reputed estimates. To understand why such errors, on a quarter issued just a few decades ago, should draw valuations astoundingly high like $666 million, we must consider the convergence of rarity, demand, and cultural significance amidst the broader numismatic and speculative marketplace. While it is rare for modern coins to command such astronomical figures, the 1992 P quarters errors represent some of the most documented, differentiated, and striking in the modern minting era, attracting worldwide attention and escalating bidding wars among private collectors, speculators, and investors seeking singular treasure. Beyond the errors themselves, the provenance of these quarters plays a major role. Coins with well-documented histories, meticulously preserved collections, or direct traceability to specific mint batches have a pronounced edge in garnering record valuations. The story behind some of these coins involves private discoveries, rare hoard findings, and expert authentication, all adding layers of credibility and mystique. When combined with documented scarcity and exceptional error characteristics, such coins can transcend standard collectible valuations and join a rarefied echelon of numismatic legend. Social media, documentaries, and high-profile auctions have played significant roles in publicizing and arguably inflating the value, establishing a narrative around the 1992 P quarter as the holy grail of modern era coins, with its $666 million valuation fueled by both genuine rarity and media exposure. The number 666 in this valuation also adds a cultural and mystical resonance that some collectors find intoxicating. Whether viewed as symbolic or merely numerical, it magnetizes attention, driving speculative interest and, as a result, price. Furthermore, it's important to consider the role of grading anomalies and disputes, where coins with borderline error characteristics or debates over the severity of errors can explode in value when consensus swings toward recognizing those errors as major and authentic. The 1992 P quarter has been at the center of such debates, with expert numismatists meticulously studying known specimens and publishing detailed research to distinguish between minor minting quirks and genuine, high-value errors. This scholarly scrutiny drives collector confidence and investment willingness, reinforcing the coin's high valuation. Another compelling possibility making the 1992 P quarter so valuable relates to the probability of undiscovered or undocumented varieties that exist in small quantities, sparking continuous search and speculation within the numismatic community. The potential unveiling of new error variants connected to the 1992 Philadelphia Mint run could drive future market surges and contribute to the already monumental valuation estimates. This dynamic not only boosts interest but maintains the coin's relevance decades after its initial minting. Additionally, from a metallurgical perspective, the 1992 P quarter composition, consisting of a copper core clad by layers of nickel, adds layers of vulnerability and opportunity for error manifestation. Slight variations in the bonding during the cladding process can cause lamination errors, flaking or peeling of layers, that, when combined with die or strike errors, create unique, hybrid coins, which are especially rare and highly coveted. The layered structure can also amplify the visibility of die cracks and strike-through anomalies, making these features more pronounced and thus contributing to collector desire. The commercialization of such coins has been fueled by an international collector base expanding rapidly in recent decades.